Good morning to you. Welcome to my thought for the day. I've jumped on a little bit in Luke chapter 9. I've bypassed, because it's so familiar perhaps, anyway, the transfiguration, that amazing moment when 3 of the disciples were at the top of the mountain and Jesus revealed to them something of his majesty and glory. It was unveiled for a moment or two as he met with Moses and Elijah. And then the young boy who was troubled with an evil spirit that the disciples couldn't deal with. But I'm looking at verse 46. And when you think about the fact that 3 of them had been up on the mountain, 3 out of the 12 were special. They were the inner 3. And they spent such a lot of time with Jesus, and they saw so many absolutely incredible things. There were times, I'm sure, when they talked among themselves and they said, gosh, we must be really special people for God to have chosen us, for Jesus to have picked us 12, to be his followers, his inner circle. And then the 3 to say, well, we must be really special for him to choose us out for special moments with him. Yes, but that's 3, but which one's going to be the top one? Which one of us is the greatest? Which one is going to be top? And Jesus knew everything that they were thinking. Now, in this world, being top is desirable. It's important. Being the powerhouse of anything, the leader. There's a lot of prestige. There's a lot of attention. These days, a media attention. People are competing all the time for the top award, for directing a film, for the makeup, for the top award. The award for this, the medal for that. Everyone wants to be the winner, the top one. And it is a real shift in our thinking to realize that God doesn't think like that. God doesn't think like that. The example that Jesus set was not of one who, after every wonderful thing he did, wanted everybody to know about it, wanted it to be plastered over all the front pages. How many times did he say to people, please don't tell everybody about this? I think a lot of the miracles of Jesus would have been very hard to hide because they were so amazing. I mean, all these different instances that we read Jairus' daughter, didn't we, the other day? When Jesus at the end charged them, that's at the end of chapter 8, Jesus charged them to tell no one what had happened. How could they keep it a secret? The house was full of people wailing for the death of this 12-year-old girl. But Jesus did not attract the limelight to himself. He didn't. Even though he is Lord, Lord of Lords, King of Kings. Because the kind of leadership that Jesus showed was a leadership by service. A leadership is not to be contended for or grasped, because it brings all sorts of difficulties with it. It's very hard to be the top person and to be Jesus's kind of person at the same time. Jesus understood that they were talking about who was going to be the greatest. And even at the end of his ministry, remember in John 13, Jesus demonstrated practically to the men what being a disciple was all about when he girded himself with a towel and knelt at their feet and washed their feet as the humblest servant of any household would be required to do. He was on his knees in front of them. and he was their Lord and Master. This is the kind of service that Jesus asks from us, that we give help and assistance wherever we have it, that we welcome, that we give even a child time. Now, I don't know exactly what the situation was with children, but we see different examples of how children were treated over the years, and in many cultures, children were cared for by their mother or by nannies or servants, but they hardly ever met with the adults of their society until they had grown into adulthood. But Jesus said we should have regard for a child and welcome them. If you welcome a child in my name, you receive me. In another exchange about this sort of topic, he talked about giving water to somebody. We must not despise the little acts of kindness that we do for others and that others do for us. God notices all of them, and he wants us to live to not see something and think, oh, someone else, that needs doing, someone else had better do it. If we see something that needs doing, however menial the task, we should set to and do it. There's no hierarchy for us. We are all equal, and we are all servants following the greatest servant of all. The great servant, God, King, We are following him, and our heart should be to put our hand to anything that needs doing without thinking, well, that's beneath me, that's somebody else's job. We should get alongside each other and help and support each other best we can, and other folk. It was rather sweet yesterday when our fence was demolished by the tractor, the trailer that got loose from a tractor and the car that it hit. If you don't know about it, don't worry, but it happened yesterday. But I was out there with my neighbour looking at the damage after the cars had been removed, and this young lad came along and said, do you want help clearing the fence? The damaged fence. I didn't know him, never met him. But of course, until the insurance people have seen it, we can't really do anything. But his kindness, his instinctive thought was to help if we needed his help. And that was lovely. I was very grateful for his thought. There may be opportunities today for you to be somebody's servant, to love them as Jesus has loved you. Take the opportunity if it comes. God bless you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.